Hi everybody, it's Tommy Jo from Bird Street Studio. I'm back with the cover to my journal for Dephemerember. Sorry, I had to have a sip of coffee. Anyways, I was gonna try to put this all together on camera, but oh man, it took me a long time because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. The fabrics, as you can see, they're like all woven to do that. They were falling all over. Then I wanted to put a piece of muslin behind. Anyways, it was kind of confusing. So I'm just gonna start and kind of show you what I did. Okay, we're in camera. Okay, so I figured out the size of my cover is like this. This is going to be my cover. And so I knew that I had to weave fabrics and make it a little bit longer on all sides. And then I needed to cut a piece of muslin because these, when I wove these, there's nothing behind it to hold it. So once I got them all woven and I got them kind of pinned together, if you can see there's a gazillion pins in here, I went ahead and cut a piece of muslin a little bit bigger than that even. Excuse me. So the strips that I used, these I bought a long while ago. I think it was at Joann's. And I don't know what they call these. I saw somebody the other day talking about these and they call them something in particular. But they're just wide, long inch strips of different coordinating materials. So I thought, well, maybe I'll weave these. I don't know if I'm going to dye this, what I'm going to do with this, but I thought I would weave these to start. So what I did is I just they actually are really long, like 1.5 yards or something. I don't know how long they are. And I just started weaving, and then I decided I'm going to go ahead and cut the strips this size. So these I had to fold back and weave and, fold certain ones and fold them back over and put these on. So basically that's what I did. And I just tried to get them as close as I could. They are not overlapping because when you weave, you can't overlap. So I got them as close as I could, and I figure with the muslin on the back, we're good. So then I went ahead and I pinned it because I wasn't really sure how I was gonna sew this, if I was gonna machine stitch it, hand stitch it, stitch diagonals, stitch straight. I wasn't really sure. What I did know though is that I didn't want to sew around the outside yet because I don't want to have a lot of different stitching around the outside. When I stitch this, it needs to have the paper under it. I think I'm going to put some batting in here and then the inside. But anyways, so I'm just right now sewing down the inside of each row, like that. And then I'll be able to remove some of the pins, maybe not these outside ones, but all these center ones. And then I can do the same, either do the other side or I'll turn it and do one side and whatever. So that's where I'm at right now. I think it's going to be pretty now that I've got the muslin on it. If I put my cover over here, right, I think it's going to be really pretty. So it'll be something like this. And then I did find, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but I did find this. And I thought that might be pretty if I wrap that around it. So I don't know. Something like this, I hope. We'll see when I'm all done how it finally ends up. But that's where I'm at. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to videotape as I go. I'm not going to videotape while I sew because my camera's right above me, and if I put my machine under here, you wouldn't see what I was sewing anyways. So So I'm going to go ahead and sew, and then I will come back on when I do the next step. Okay, I'm back with this cover, and what I've done is I went ahead and sewed double stitching this way in each area, and then double stitching this way, and then I went ahead and stitched diagonal just one direction. I didn't do it both ways. So this is kind of how it looks, if you can see the stitching. So now I'm trying to figure out what I want to put in the middle of this to make it a little padded. I looked and I really don't have any like quilt batting or anything. So I was thinking, usually I make my soft cover journals with Amazon packaging. So I thought, why not see if I have something that will fit? So I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to move this aside real quick. So here's our paper bag, okay? And what I did was I cut the bag on this side right here so it opens up. And I thought, well, what if I put the packaging inside the bag, glue it, and then glue this onto the bag. And then if I make, trying to think of how I would make the inside of it. I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to move with that and see what happens. So to glue it, I'm going to use, I'm only going to glue part of it at a time, but I need to trim it out a little bit. So I've got this tucked in here like this. And I know that my bag, let me show you. My bag is folded right in half. So I know that these ends meet. So when I put this in, if I line this up like this, I'm going to have to pull this down a little bit, because if the bag is straight, the Amazon packaging is never straight. So if I put it in like this, okay, then what I want to do is start gluing on the front and the back and leave it like this so that I can flip it so that I can trim it. But I don't want to trim it until I've got part of it glued. So what I'm going to use for glue is my tacky glue. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe glue this part first. So I'm going to move this aside like this. This is like way more than area that I have. I'm going to go ahead and put my glue book up here, just so I've got it one side. Oh, I spread this glue. I'm not as concerned in the middle as I am with all these edges here. Just to try to make sure I get those all. And I'll use my brush just to push it out the edges. Okay, so then I'm going to take my packaging and I'm going to lay it. Oh, I need to lay it right here. Okay. And I'm going to bring this. Actually, I could lay it on top this way. How about that? Come on, Tommy, use your brain. Okay. Remember, I want it to go above and oh no, what did I do? Oh no, that's right. Okay. I forgot that I cut this out so that I could wrap it around. Okay, nice. Okay, so now I'm going to just glue this one piece here. And then I'm going to turn it over and do the other side. So how's everybody today? I hope you're fine. I stayed up quite late trying to get that the cover sewn last night, and so needless to say, the puppies and I lazed around in bed this morning way too long. I was tired, but anyways. Okay, so we've got that side done. So now we want to turn the whole thing over, and we're going to do this section right here. Okay. Okay, so I've got this glued, and it's pretty dry. I went and had some dinner. while I waited for it to dry. And I'm trying to just figure out what I want to do. If I want to just put a piece of muslin on here and then sew them together. I can't think of, so I got a piece of muslin out, and I know that I have to size it. So I'm thinking if I make it the same size as this cover, then I can make decisions after the fact. So I think we're good there. And so let's get some scissors. I'm gonna rip it, but I wanna be sure that I have the right amount. It looks like we need to rip it on this side a little bit. Okay. And what I'm looking for is, I have plenty of space, if you can see this side to side, but I'm looking top and bottom. I want that kind of even. And then if I lay this on it, this way, and I guess what I'm trying to think is if I want to do some sort of a hidden spine, if I'm going to do that, I don't mind having the strings on the outside, I guess. I'm going to have a thing around it anyways, so we're good. So I think I'm going to put it like this. I might be able to trim a little bit off the top, but for now I'm going to see if I can pin it so that I could maybe get it through my sewing machine. I could make a sleeve and tuck it in. No, I think I want to do it this way. So I'm just trying to figure out where how I'm gonna pin this so I know exactly where to sew it. I think I need to sew it right along there, which means this pin has to come in a little further. And then if I sew right along where this pin is, I should be good. Something like that. I don't know. Never done it before. We'll soon find out. The next question is, do I want any kind of pockets in it? Let me see what kind of material I have. Just looking to see what kind of scraps I had to, so I wouldn't have to use a whole piece of material, but let me see how much of this I have. I would have to make individual pockets if I did this, unless I sewed it together. But that would be kind of cool, huh? If I measured the spine, I think I could figure this out where I could If I did that, I'd have to sew it onto the muslin before I put the muslin onto here, though. Okay, but I kind of like this material, so I think I'm going to go ahead and try to make pockets out of this material here, since it's really not enough to make a journal out of or anything. And I like it. So if I do that, I really need to make 2 pockets and sew the edges in maybe or something. But the question is, how wide do I want to make them, and how wide is my spine going to be? So if these are my pages, and the edge of my book is about right there, then my spine can be about like this, I think. Okay, so if that's the case, I need to mark that where my spine is going to be, because okay, there's one. looks like there's, the other one would have to be right about there. Okay, so with that in mind, my pockets, if I sew it into the edge, okay, and we're looking at 8, about 8 inches that way. Let's see if I have 8 this way as well. Yep. So if I make the pockets 8 inches each, okay. Okay, this is going to take some thinking, so I'll probably come back in just a minute. Okay, I got the basic cover done, and I got pockets in it, here and here, and basically I sewed twice all the way around. I mean, I sewed the pockets and then sewed twice all the way around, and then I just went right up the middle here, just kind of to hold it in place. And I think I love it. And I took my pages so far. I need to get additional pages, different kinds of pages in here. And possibly do a 5th signature. I'm not sure. But anyways, when you close it, it really is quite nice. It's hard to see because it's so big. But anyways, it's really nice. And it's soft, but it's sturdy. So I don't know if I'm going to put this on it or not. I may or may not. I kind of like it, but then I'm looking at it thinking, gosh, it's awful light, you know, and I kind of wanted it a little darker, maybe a little more grungier, but I'm not sure. But what I did do, this is pretty cool, is when I was attempting to do this cover, I had to really cut off bits and pieces of material and kind of try to figure it out because I hadn't calculated it right. And what I ended up was, this is my scrap basket, okay? And I had all this material strips and pieces in my scrap basket. So I sewed them all together. Oh, can you see this? I sewed them all together. I put down a piece of masking tape, and then I just piled everything that was in my scrap basket over there on it. And I made this kind of page edger. Is that kind of cool or what? So anyways, like you could put it on a page. I don't know. I loved it. So anyways, this is going to go in my little ephemera box. But anyways, I just wanted to show you how far I got and that I got the cover done, sort of. That's where I'm at.